So I'm doing my best to keep my identification confidential. I received a private message from a YouTube dealer who is understandably skeptical, and I can understand the skepticism here. I wouldn't believe me myself, and you have every right to disbelieve my story, even though I can assure you beyond a shadow of a doubt that it is 100% true. Anyway, this YouTube member queried why, if I work for Area 51, am I using such archaic technology? Well, apparently he doesn't realize I'm making these videos from my own home. You see, there's a not-so-secret airport terminal called Janet Air that ships all Area 51 employees, well, maybe not all, but many, most, more than back and forth, usually on a daily basis from Area 51 back to their homes in Nevada. And so I'm at my home making these videos on my plain vanilla desktop Hewlett Packard computer. It's at least 8 years old, perhaps more, and I'm not the most computer savvy or up-to-date person. It serves my purpose. I don't have the latest software, and that's why my video is crude. I'm not in the know-how when it comes to video editing and the like, and of course I couldn't show you much anyway, although I do plan to get some actual video in the future, though my face will have to be obscured. Now, back to where I left off last time. I was explaining how Black Ops elements within the base use diversions like UFO hoaxes to distract attention away from covert operations and top-secret projects. One of those projects actually uses the pretty well-known Phoenix Lights incident of 1997. Does anyone remember that? It happened in Phoenix, Arizona around the time of the Hale-Bopp comet sighting and the subsequent debacle of the Heaven's Gate cult, but I'm digressing again. The Phoenix Lights were actually a military project and brainchild of Area 51 strategists. What the Phoenix Lights actually were cutting-edge technology at the time. These special hovering flares that were released in a strategic position to create the illusion of a massive aircraft, a mothership or what have you. And they actually released a type of blanket of gas to block out the stars and create the illusion that this was a solid body, not just a pattern of unjoined lights or flares, which they actually were. And please don't ask me to explain the technology or science behind it. That's not my forte or field. I'm just a peon of a little eccentric base guy. Now, I became privy to certain things that an individual with my security clearance level weren't supposed to be privy to, and I'll explain later on how that happened. But now back to the Phoenix Lights. The purpose of this illusion of a massive UFO or whatever it was supposed to be was actually to divert attention from experimental chemicals the military was releasing on Phoenix that night. Now, I can neither confirm nor deny the actual purpose of these chemicals, but the rumor amongst us lower tier members of Area 51, the base chatter and talk was that the chemicals were actually had some type of immunization quality and are supposed to protect from biological attacks, certain biological attacks. So, in essence, the population of Phoenix, at least a part of it, were actually being used as guinea pigs. And that's why I feel the need to reveal these covert operations to the American public. As you should know after the first part, I am a true patriot. I'm all for security of America and secrets if it's truly to protect the people. But when these secrets are to use the people to exploit them, it's going to cross the line, and that is the antithesis of what America's supposed to represent, and it's against all that I stand for and what I think the American military is supposed to stand for. And I'll let you in on what may not be such a secret, is the fact that the President of the United States himself knows less than 20% of the operations and projects that Area 51 is involved in. And like President Bush or not, I happen to like him, think he's a good man. I have my misgivings with some of his foreign policies, but overall I think he's a good man and a good president. But it's really story about one of my first experiences at Nellis Air Force Base. I had been a base guard there for a couple of months and had yet to see anything particularly interesting or out of the ordinary. I worked during the day and most of the secret aircraft is flown at night. One day, this kind of buddy of mine, who was no longer deployed at Area 51, and of course his name must remain undisclosed, well, he had a higher security level than I, and he asked if I wanted to see something interesting. Me being the wide-eyed, naive young man that I was, jumped at the chance to break the tedium. So he takes me to this building that was known as Building Z. I had never set foot near it, and if you look at the video screen now, I can point the building out for you. Building Z is the object you see circled on the extreme left side of the picture. So he takes me in there, and it's a really mundane, unprovocative building. It's just like a small hangar. Not many objects at all. It's really hollowed out. And he leads me to an equally mundane elevator. And he slides his security card through and leads me in there. I can feel the elevator moving down, and then a few seconds later, the doors open to reveal what must be at least, it's a wide open, high corridor that's at least a mile long. It's really cavernous but brightly lit, and it's really nothing like what you see in films like Independence Day. It's awesome in the true sense of the word. And down the corridor I can see large hangar-like doors and other passages that must make up a complex web-like infrastructure beneath the base. The first thing that really catches my attention though is this map adjacent to the elevator that detailed the layout of this sublevel. I pinpointed my location on the map and discovered that the long, mile-long corridor I was standing in barely represented one grid on the map, and by my estimation, the map was comprised of no less than 50 XY axis grids, so that should put in this perspective just how massive this underground level is. And above the map, it said sub-level 1 of 4. So there were at least 3 other levels to this underground complex. And only God knows, and those who work in those 3 sub-levels, just how large it got. I tell you, but that's why Area 51 continues to exponentially expand its territory in Groom Lake, even though the activity on the ground seems to decrease every year. But anyway, I'm standing there with my jaw hanging down to my feet, and my buddy asked me if I want to see something amazing. I'm like, I've already seen something amazing. It's at least a segment's worth, so I'm kind of running out of time, so I think I should save that